Building an authentic brand is a really overlooked aspect of content creation. There is so much advice out there about sticking to a niche and growing as fast as possible that I think we have lost the plot a little bit. As creators, a lot of us are so focused on going viral that we may not be remaining true to ourselves and what could actually make us happy with the content that we create. I fell into this trap myself over the years, and I focused heavily on the content that would do well and a lot less on the content that I actually wanted to create. And while this did grow my channel, I found it gave me a lot of views from people who didn't actually care who I was. They didn't know who I was, they didn't know what my story was or anything. They didn't really care about it either. And that's fine, because you shouldn't expect the entire internet to care about you and who you are all the time. Most people are on the internet, especially YouTube, to search for information and learn about how to fix their problems. But on the other end of the spectrum, I still wanted to be building a more personal connection with the people who watched my content. So this right here is going to be a 5-part series on exactly how I plan to do that moving forward with my YouTube channel and how you can build your own personal brand that you love. Now, first I want to talk about what it means to be authentic on YouTube and in business in general and just building a personal brand. Now, authenticity to me means staying true to who you are and what you believe in. It's showing up unapologetically as your genuine self online while being potentially vulnerable. And by vulnerability, I do not mean that you have to share every single aspect of your life online. In fact, I encourage that you do not do that. There are definitely some parts of your life that should not be subject to the scrutiny of the entire internet, because the internet can be cruel. But instead, it is about being genuine in the content that you do feel comfortable sharing. And people can usually tell when someone is being authentically themselves versus when someone is just chasing the fame, the money, and the likes. And often these motivations, if you aren't genuine with them, will eventually come to light. So you want to ask yourself, what is it that you value? And this can extend beyond business. And in fact, I encourage you to do so, because your business is essentially just an extension of you. So what do you value personally in terms of business, in terms of life, in terms of your goals, and different things like that? And this can be hard in the beginning to really get concrete with what you value. But for example, I really value time with my husband and my friends. So that is a value that I have. And that is why I am focused on building a passive income business, because this allows me the flexibility to take the time off when I need it. And it gives me the opportunity to step back in my business if necessary. So there is a way for me to take my core values as a person and directly tie them to the direction that I want to take my business. And this is something important that you want to do within your own YouTube channel, whether you're blogging, doing TikTok, or whatever it is that you want to do. You can figure out where you want to take your business based on those core values. Like, for example, I know someday that I want to have kids and I want them to come first. I essentially want to be a stay-at-home mom who owns a business, as opposed to what I just currently am, which is a business owner. So therefore, I'm directing my business in a way that supports those goals with passive income, which is why I have chosen YouTube instead of doing something like TikTok, where you have to do 3 videos a day and the upkeep is a lot more. On the other hand, perhaps you value material things, and some might see material things and wanting wealth and all this as selfish, but really I just see it as simply a different motivation. Because there is nothing wrong with aspiring to live on $1 million beach house and being just the fun aunt that never has any kids, maybe never has a husband, and you just hang out on your beach house in California, for example. And that is totally fine. In that case, the vision or goal for yourself can be for you to drive a business that authentically sustains that lifestyle. Personally, I could not care less about the money and the fame. I do not need my YouTube channel to go viral. I never will need to make $1 million a year plus in my business. I have no interest in that. I am just looking to build a business where I am excited about the content while I'm making enough money to live comfortably. I'm never, ever, ever going to need to run $1 million business. That is just not me. And I personally would like to attract the viewers who feel the same and share my values and beliefs. And because those are my values and beliefs, that's the way that I am coming off, I would assume, as being more personal and more just interested in building an authentic business that is exciting versus growing as fast as possible, going viral, and all those other things. Those are for other content creators creators and not for me. Now, that doesn't mean that if you do want to build $1 million mansion house in California that you won't resonate with this content, but it just kind of is what I personally like. And I expect that other people who resonate with that goal are probably going to be likely to be more willing and interested in watching my content. So I would take a minute to reflect on your own personal values and figure out what truly drives you. Is it personal connections with your family? Is it being a stay-at-home mom? Is it making a lot of money, running a big business? What is it that truly, truly drives you? And what kind of life do you want to create through your business? And there is no shame in any of this. I don't want you to feel shame if you really enjoy making a lot of money or not, because I know that money can make people feel greedy and that maybe makes them not want to admit to themselves that they want to make a lot of money. So I would not allow any outside influences or premonitions that you have with making a lot of money or not to dictate your business directions and your values for you. Just ask yourself honestly, what do I value? Where do I see my life going? What do I actually want? And then try to forget about any other worries or fears that you might have about how other people are going to perceive those goals. Because before, in my business, I allowed outside influences to influence me to create my own business goals, and it absolutely did not help me. I used to think that I was the weird one for not wanting 10K, 15K, 20K months and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and coaching and doing all of these things because so many other creators would brag about how they made $60,000 months. And I thought I was the weird one for having absolutely no interest in that being my lifestyle. I just saw so many creators with this goal. So I used to set high numbers for myself as well, saying I wanted to make $100,000 years, $200,000 years, while knowing deep down that I could care less about making massive income like that. So those goals never came to fruition because I did not care about them. So make sure that you are true to you and no one else. Next, I want to talk a little bit about why building an authentic brand is so important. I personally think it is more important to build an authentic brand instead of chasing the numbers and building a business that just makes you a lot of money, but it may not be what you are passionate about. And let's talk about why that is. For starters, content creation is hard. This is not an easy thing to do. So if you are currently at a job that you don't like, the benefit of that job is stable income, which you do not have with content creation. And it takes a lot more work. So why would you quit your stable 9-to-5 job that maybe you don't like that much in order to pursue an unstable content creation career that you also don't enjoy? I spent a lot of time pursuing a path that I didn't enjoy, and while it worked for a while, I felt like I was pushing a boulder up a hill, and I kept hitting wall after wall after wall. And while the money was good, it did not feel fulfilling or worth it because I kept hitting this wall and I just felt like I could not grow any more past that wall because I was not enjoying what I was creating. So I would much rather make less, but enjoy the process more. I may end up growing slower because I have made this decision, but it'll feel authentic, and hopefully in the future, I can take the business to the highs that I wasn't able to before because I kept hitting my face against wall after wall after wall, doing content that I wasn't enjoying. So when you start to build this authentic business or YouTube channel, whatever it is that you decide to do, it is important to keep a strong focus on your values and what makes you happy. You, again, do not want to let outside influences guide your business in a direction that you do not want to go, because once again, I did this and it didn't help with anything. Instead, it led me to creating a business that I did not care about, and it led me to a lot of burnout. So once you outline your values, I recommend that you write them down. It's time to figure out your goals and how you are going to use your business to reach them. I personally think if you are starting content creation, that YouTube is a great place to start. Or if you are more introverted, a blog is a good place to start as well. Although I'm very introverted and YouTube is great for me, you just have to get on camera, of course, if you do YouTube. So for me, I of course started as a blogger and I moved over to YouTube shortly after that. For a while there, I was doing both, but it was clear very, very quickly to me that my passion lied in YouTube way more than blogging. YouTube for me is way more enjoyable, and I have found a lot more success here than I ever did using my blog. I'm not really sure why that is, but I definitely found way more success here, and I found the process to be a lot more enjoyable. So you want to figure out what is going to be best for you to start out with. And there are a lot of options. You could do blogging, you could do YouTube, you could do TikTok, just to name a few. Short form content is one of the great places to look, but with a TikTok ban in place in the US, I probably would not put your eggs in the TikTok basket, honestly. I would stick to more reliable platforms like YouTube and of course your own site, because if you own your site, no one can take that away from you. And I really, really don't think YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon, so I feel like YouTube is a relatively safe place to put your content. You're also going to want to get clear on your mission for your business and goals. Who do you want to help and what are you doing to help them? What are your passions? What makes you excited to talk about? What makes you excited to learn about? And how do you plan to make money to go after those goals that you have set? This is the foundation that you are going to need for a successful business. And it is okay if you do not have the exact answer to every single one of these questions right off the bat. It is a good idea to get as clear as you possibly can with the information that you currently have available to you and the direction that you kind of have in your head as of right now. But you're likely going to change and adjust these goals in the future, and your answers are going to change as you grow in business. For me, I would have always assumed that I was going to be a blogger. I never thought that I was really going to be a YouTuber, or at least not quit blogging in order to do YouTube. So it's going to change over time, and that is okay. Once you have all of that figured out, it is time to get a little bit more specific. You're going to want to start figuring out your brand pillars. And basically what that means is just figuring out the different topics that you want to talk about. This is basically figuring out what your niche is, which I'm sure you've heard about if you are looking into doing content creation at all. Your niche is the overall topic that you talk about. So for me, it is content creation and building a business. I used to talk a lot about blogging and Pinterest, but since I really no longer do any of those, I've opened up my niche to doing pillars instead. We're going to talk a lot more about pillars in the next video, but my pillars are YouTube strategy, content creation and business, building an authentic passive income business, personal finance and financial freedom, goal setting and life organization, and authentic lifestyle and personal growth. Some of the pillars I tend to use more than others, like the YouTube strategy, the personal finance, building an authentic business, but I do my best to rotate through them, and each one of my videos relates directly to my goals and my business values. And we're going to be talking a lot more about pillars and ditching your niche in the next video, so make sure to check it out right here if you're interested. And if you like this video, make sure to like if you like and subscribe to my channel down below for more videos just like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye.